Good morning, EDM students, my math masters, or good evening to those of you who didn't watch it this morning. Hope I got those in order. Anyways, the students in class checked out library books for their book reports. All the books came from 5 categories: fiction, biography, science, history, and the arts. The librarian wants to make a graph to show the teachers and students which categories of books were used most often by students for their book reports. She could create a bar graph or a circle graph. In your answer document, state one advantage of using the bar graph and one advantage of using the circle graph to show the number of books the students chose from 5 categories. Okay, up here, we're really just talking about the 5 categories. It's down here where it really tells me what I need to do. So I'm going to reread this. In your answer document, state, what do I need to state? One advantage of using the bar graph and one advantage of using a circle graph to show the number of books the students chose from the 5 categories. Okay, I am guessing that this is going to be a 2-pointer because I have to do 2 things. So on my gridded paper, I would probably break up the paper into one side, and I'd even label the one side bar graph, and I would label the other side circle graph. Now notice in the directions again, I don't have to say which is better. I just have to say an advantage of using each one. Going back in the answer, state one advantage of using the bar graph and one advantage of using the circle graph to show the number of books the students chose from the 5 categories. Again, I'm not saying the bar graph is better than the circle graph. I'm just stating the advantages that they both have. So I'm going to have to find some differences here. So I'm going to do some typing here because, as we know, sometimes when I write with these I get a little sloppy. So I'm going to start my sentence. One advantage. Let's see, I can spell advantage because it's up in the question. One advantage that a bar graph has is that, now let's see here, bar graphs are good. They break things into categories, but you know what, so does a circle graph. I can see the different categories, the different sections, but they're good at showing the exact number of kids. So if 5 kids like fiction, I can see exactly 5 like fiction. So I have the whole number. All right. So one advantage that a bar graph has is that you can tell exactly what number of kids like a specific, I'll use a nice word here, genre of literature. Slide this up. I may even give an example. For example, you could tell if 10 kids liked fiction books, let's say. Okay? Now go to the circle graph. Okay, circle graph also has advantages. Now, if I think of circle, I always think of percents in a circle graph, and percents are derived from or come from really fractions. So, a circle graph, one advantage that a circle graph has is that you can tell the fraction or percent of the whole that like a specific, I'll use the same things I had over there, specific genre of literature. Let's see, can I spell here? For example, you could tell if 3/4 of the, what are we talking about here? Students, or 75% liked, let's just say, history books. And I am done, boys and girls. Again, I go back and reread it. In your answer document, state one advantage of using the bar graph and one advantage using the circle graph to show numbers of books that students chose from the 5 categories. One advantage of a bar graph. One advantage that a bar graph has is that you can tell exactly what number of kids like a specific genre of literature. For example, you could tell if 10 kids like fiction books. For circle graph, one advantage that circle graph has is that you can tell the fraction or percent of the whole that like a specific genre of literature. For example, it's there. Good thing I'm reading this again. You can tell if 3/4 or 75% liked history books. Hope this helps. Take care.